Welcome to this tutorial on adding Go Formative into your assignments. The perspective I'm starting with is you've maybe never opened Go Formative before, and so we're going to start from there, and then I'm going to show you how to integrate it with Canvas. So first things first, I would open a tab. If you start typing in Formative, it should pop up, and goformative.com right there, login right there. And so this is how I would start, just because you can make sure you create your profile first. And you see, I've logged in so many times, it automatically logs me in. But for the sake of this, I'll log out. And so this will probably be what you would see. Okay. And so you should be able to go log in, and then you should be able to sign in with Clever or Google. Either way, your school account will get you logged in. So I'll go ahead and do Clever. There you go. It's automatically logging me in, and here I am. And so this is some of the stuff I've already created, right? But when you first get started, there won't be anything here. And so to get started, you can create a folder, which is what I've done here. So for my physics class, I have a folder, and if you open that folder up, then I have my different kind of categories. So motion, right? And so you can kind of keep creating these folders just like in Google Drive, to help yourself stay organized with your activities. Once you get into a certain folder, okay, these are actual formatives now. And I number them with the sequence, but of course that is totally based on your organization and so forth. What you can see here are actually all of your classes have been uploaded for the entire year. And so currently for quarter 1, these are my 2 classes, and I can see quickly how they've done with all the activities, how many kids have submitted it officially. And when I go to open this, let's go ahead and do, maybe this text and driving one here, building the app. Okay. This is a formative then that I've created, right? And I can view responses, and I can do it based on class, and I can see it based on student, but I can also look at an overview. And this is one of my favorite screens because I can see how many kids have done it, how they've done. I can click in here and see what they're doing and type some feedback. So again, that's once you've gotten started. So if I'm just starting one, okay, we'll go ahead and do a test one here. This is a new formative, and you can see it doesn't have a title, and it has no content. Okay, so it says add your title here, test formative, and I'll mark it for the blue team. Okay, so here we are. Then you have this little plus button, and so it then will prompt you to all the different things that you can add into the formative. You can add an audio file. You can embed, right? So if you're comfortable embedding videos and slides and different things like that, then you can use the embed feature. You can add images and text. So for the most part, when I start one of these, I will start with a text block, and uh, I will give it a title. And very often it matches the title that I've labeled the thing. When you highlight this, you can customize the appearance and so forth. You can center it if you desire manually, but it's not necessarily designed to be super functional as far as creating this, because it's trying to do it for you. And really then all the student has to do is go down through your activity by scrolling. And so you can then do a lot. So you can put text in here, and then even within this text box, you have a plus sign. So I can then embed an audio file or embed a slideshow. I can embed emojis or images, or a math equation. So if you're math, okay, it gives you a default math equation. Don't ask me why it does this. But then you get like a mathematical calculator with mathematical symbols here that you can remove. Done. And then it almost becomes like an image that you can add text around. And if you just click it, remove, okay. Videos are incredibly powerful. YouTube, Vimeo, or Google Video Share. So if you have a YouTube video link, you can just put that in there, and maybe I'll show that real quick. I'll go to my YouTube page, and this is something that I've done, right? So I've pre-taught all my lessons for kids who can't make it to my live class. I'll just take this one, for example. Don't need to watch it, but then you just take this link, add it here. It gives you a preview, add video, and now it's formatted it for you again. So you could have a little bit of text introducing the video, saying watch for this, and then answer questions below. So once you want them to answer some questions, you have all these question types. And so you could have them respond with their audio. They have to record their voice and respond, and then you as a teacher would get their audio files that you could listen to. You can do categorize, and this is really cool because it allows you to move different things into different places. A short essay or graphing, and so it'll give them a graph kind of template. They can start putting down some data points and put in a graph. Matching, so you can match vocab words to definitions and so forth. Multiple choice obviously is kind of more traditional. Multiple selection, if there's more than one right answer, okay, they can do multiple selection. Numeric for me in physics has been great. It'd be great for math, where you can have them show their work. So I'll go ahead and show this one. Okay, when you create the assignment, what is, let's just do 10 plus 10. Okay, correct answer. So now as a teacher, I can say, okay, the correct answer is 20. And now it'll automatically grade it. So if a student answers 20, then they're going to automatically get feedback that it's correct. And if they don't, then they'll get feedback that it's wrong. And one of the coolest features, I think, is called Show Your Work. And it gives them a little box that they can edit. But you can also, as a teacher, put things into this background. So when you're creating this, you might put in graph paper, and then the students then can they can use all these different tools. So they can type, they can add images, whoops, they can add shapes, and they can draw, and so they can really show their work. And then so if you just want them to have a blank template, then it's just blank, and that's how it goes. So this is that. The next thing is you can preview it as a student. And so this little eyeball here will, that's weird, preview as a student. I don't know why it's doing that way. There you go. Never had it do that little mini one. So this is previewing it as a student. So they see the title here. Okay, and this is what I've added. And again, all they have to do is scroll down through it. Okay, teacher wants me to show my work. 10 plus 10 equals 20. They type in 20, boom, enter. Now, again, the teacher will get the preview of them showing their work. They've submitted their answer, and submit. Okay, so that is what it's like as a student. And so you can embed, again, slideshows from Google Docs. You can embed a Google Doc, and then they can interact with it all within here. So then, again, as the teacher, the last step after you've created this would be to assign. And so you have, again, all the classes are preloaded. For me, these are my 2 physics classes. So I just go click, click, and I know it's going to be assigned. The next thing that I like to do is adjust the settings. And the reason for this is because you can change it to be more like a quiz where they're not allowed to make any edits and they don't really know how they did until you choose to pass it back. Or if it's a homework assignment and you're wanting them to get feedback as quickly as possible, I almost always allow for edits so that they can go back in even after they submit. Okay, they made a mistake. You give them feedback, they can go back in and change that submission. Um, and then instantly, okay, if it's a type of formative that lends itself to auto grading, like the numerical answers, for example, then giving them their scores instantly, they're going to see right away that they got the question wrong. And then they might have to think about, like, okay, what did I get wrong? The challenge with this, if you're doing more of a writing activity, the auto grader has a hard time truly grading writing, and that's because you can give it an example response, but unless it really matches it pretty accurately, and students' language is always usually for me a little different, then the auto grader struggles. So totally up to you, depending on how you want to do it. You can do it after the student submits, and for short responses, it'll show them that it's not graded yet. Okay, unless you put in an auto grade response. So for me, when I do a short response, I usually don't put in an auto grade response, and therefore it just shows that it's not graded until you go in and view their responses. So either way, when it's closed, showing scores instantly after student submits, however you want. My most common one is either instantly or after student submits. And so I'll just go ahead and do instantly. And I don't usually show correct answers because I don't want to just give them the answer. Okay. I want them to come to me and ask questions if they can't get the correct answer. So that is usually my settings. No time limit. I allow for edits and they get feedback instantly. Click assign. Okay. It's going to tell you that it's now assigned. Okay. And you can see your students and all of their work once they've submitted it. And just pulling you up an example, again, that's live. Sorry. When you see your student work, you are going to see a lot. Okay, let's do this final challenge. Okay, again, this is one I've built just as an example. I've embedded videos with languages and questions that are auto-graded. Some are short answer responses. But when you go and you view the responses, it'll break it down by question. So you can grade each one by question. You can then grade it as an overview and you can get an idea, okay, how are kids doing? How did the class do? Class average was 96% on this activity. So I scrolled down, okay, these students, they didn't even open the assignment. And I know that because when they open it, there's a little dot. So let's see if I can find that example right here. This is a little dot next to their name. That means that they've opened it. It tells me when they opened it. And then I can see that this student did not complete the assignment yet. It'll give a little check mark when it's completed. Okay, but again, all auto graded. So I can get myself feedback and I can give them feedback almost instantaneously. And something I like to do for short responses. So this question 10 is a short response. Again, I can see all their responses in one little page. So I can kind of click, okay, this one's correct. Okay, this one's correct. And I've already done this, so you'll see that they're already green. But I can go through and go, okay, this one's correct. And I can mark them all as correct at the same exact time. So pretty cool on how it can help you grade quickly. But now, again, we've created this assignment. We've assigned it. I can go to Canvas and create this assignment. So in Canvas, you'll go to your day. Okay. Well, actually, sorry, let me restart that. I'm in my sandbox, so I'll go ahead and do it here. Okay, you can create the assignment here, or through your module. Okay, because I was already on the calendar, I'll stay here. So blue team demo assignment, more options. This is going to open up your assignment editor. Okay, and again, you can create this from your modules. You can create it from your assignment tab. You can create it straight from the calendar, like I did. And when you scroll down, you're going to see this is usually says no submission. Okay. And then we want to change that to what's called external tool. When you change this to external tool, you can then find what external tool you want to link. And these are fantastic if you haven't tried them out. But formative is what you're looking for. So we've created the Go Formative. It's here. I click it. It's then going to bring up my entire profile and the formatives that I've created. So you can see all my physics ones. Here's the test formative for the blue team. I hit the little plus. I select. And now I usually recommend you load in a new tab. That allows them to see it a little clearer. Excuse me. Um, again, changing the settings to however you want. Setting a due date is required. I usually just leave it open so kids can go back to it. Um, but you can also treat it more like a test again. So you can close it, okay, after it's due and that kind of thing. Um, Points. I recommend points because it helps with grade passback. So the next cool part about formative is that you can actually take what it's auto graded and pass it into the Canvas grade book so that kids can have an idea of what assignments are missing and that kind of thing, without having to go into Synergy, right? Not every assignment has to go into Synergy, but the Canvas gradebook can be a really cool tool to help students keep track of what they're missing. So I usually add, a point value to it. Not terribly important what the point value is, unless that's how you want to set up your class. Okay, but that is it. Notice I didn't have to do anything here. What I do usually do here, though, I'll show you in a minute, but I upload a little video teaching how to do the assignment. But that's all I have to do. So then I can hit save and publish. We're going to see this now in the calendar. Boy, seeing all my calendars. Okay, don't know why I did that. But there's my blue team demo assignment. It's crossed out because I set it on a date, of course, that was already passed. But if I click this, okay, this is what the students will open. So they will get this and they'll get a little link that says open this in a new tab, and it will then take you to the assignment. Because I'm the teacher and I created it, it brings me to my teacher view. For the student, again, it takes them to the student view like this. Okay, and again, that is then how to add this into Canvas to make it nice and seamless.